Oh no, I have been doing lots of local AI stuff on this laptop, and it got me thinking, I wonder if this 8-year-old mini PC from HP would do some AI stuff locally. And not only that, which one works better, Windows 11 or Linux? Well, guess what? This is what's next. All right, so we're going to do this in two segments. The first segment, we're going to be using Windows 11 on the HP EliteDesk. And I think I'm running Ollama. I know that I am. We're running Ollama and the 2 billion parameter of Gemma 4. It's all local, no internet. Let's see how well this works. We already have Ollama installed on Windows 11. But what I wanted to do is just quickly go through the steps on how to get the Gemma that you want. So, for example, in this website, which is Coder Sierra, we go through some of the steps here. We do know that EB2 or E2B is about 7.2 gigabytes, and the minimum RAM or VRAM is 4 gigs. And what we want to do is, there it is, pull a Gemma 4 model. Now, in order to do that, I need to go to, I type terminal, but I mean PowerShell. That is the Windows equivalent. If I type out Ollama pull Gemma 4 E2B, go ahead and hit enter. It'll pull the manifest and begin the download, which of course it did it lickety split because we already have it. So let's go ahead and launch Ollama. Let's do some basic stuff here. All right, so you can see we've selected Gemma 4 E2B from the drop down. So we're also going to shut off the old internet. So we don't have any internet, just to prove that yes, this is local. And there's our prompt. Write a one-page story about a small boy who goes fishing and catches the big one. It's early morning and the sun is rising above the horizon. All right, good enough to go on. And then let's see how this works. Now, we're not going to see stuff zipping along here. But again, I want to kind of show, this is how Windows 11 will run this. What will be interesting is when we get Linux installed on the HP EliteDesk. And will it be a little bit faster? Probably not. But, again, there we go. It's thinking through the process. It's analyzing the request, setting the mood, length, one page, 300 to 400 words. We're going to go ahead and we're going to speed through this using the magic of video and fast forwarding through stuff to basically show the time that it takes to do this. I'm actually going to set a timer up down here so you can see that. And there it is. We have our story. Not too bad. It says it did it in 34.5 seconds for the thought and roughly about 47 seconds to actually build the story. All right, so what could we do next? Let's just create a new chat here. And what I'm going to say is write a simple YouTube description for a video about using AI and Ollama on an older PC running Linux. While it's not fast, it does the job. All right, here we go again. So it's thinking. It's thinking through the process of what it might want to write. It's going to have one option, direct and technical. Option 2, the beginner. And option 3, short and punchy. Now, the one thing is the fans on this thing is starting to kick off. And then there we go. So we had it had to think for 38.5 seconds and roughly, what was it, about 55 seconds to actually build the text. I'm given 3 options on to help me build my YouTube description for this video that we're kind of working on today. All right, that's enough of Windows. Well, that was interesting, right? It ran. It's not going to win any awards, but it did work. Those 2 scenarios, creating the story and the YouTube description, hey, it did what it did. It took a little bit longer, but just know, again, this little box here, 8 years old, and it's able to do what you would want it to do. So let's go on to the next segment. I have already installed Zorin OS. If you have missed that episode, I'll put a card up here somewhere. And we're going to run the same thing, Ollama, except for there's no GUI. So just keep that in mind. We have to go through the terminal and the same 2 billion parameter Gemma 4 model. And let's see how well it compares to the Windows 11. Let's give it a shot. Currently downloading Ollama. All I had to do was click download, select Linux. It already was selected. Copied this command, opened up the terminal, pasted the command in, added my password, and we're currently downloading. And so once this gets up and running, we'll do the same steps that we did with Windows to download the model of Gemma that will run on this. Here I've accessed the library and searched for Gemma 4 models, and the one again that we're interested in is the E2B. So I'm selecting that, and basically what we want to do is we want to take this code here. We're going to copy that, go over into our terminal, and then paste. And I have to get rid of all this other gobbledygook that I seem to be able to copy every time I do this. So just make certain that if you're in Linux, you're not copying tildes and extra code that you don't want. And there we go. We're going to pull the manifest. And it's now loading the same Gemma 4 model that we ran on Windows 11. Now the other thing too I did notice is that it said that it would use the AMD processor. It'll be interesting, or the graphics card. So we'll see if this actually is a little bit faster. This is the interface. It doesn't have the pretty graphical interface that we had with Windows, but that's fine. You do everything through the terminal. Let me go ahead. I'm going to write up the prompt, and we're going to see how much faster this might be in Linux. And there's our prompt at the bottom. I have my stopwatch here. I'm going to press enter. Okay, there's the thinking process. It's zipping along pretty good. A little bit faster, I think, than the last time. Fans are starting to kick in a little bit. Final polish, and okay. Now it's writing the story. So there is our timer. And let's see. Again, it's going to be different, but we told it 1 page. Let's see how long it takes. All right, 38 seconds for that story. I believe that's a little faster than the last time. The only problem is that it doesn't really tell you how long it took to do thinking. I'll post a time on the screen based off of what time it showed down here. So knowing that, I will time both the thinking and the actual output. So let's go on to our next prompt. Our second prompt is written. Here we go. We're going to hit enter. And we're going to click start, and we're going to see exactly how fast it is for the thinking portion. Like I said, again, it does seem to be zipping along a little bit quicker than it did under Windows. Now maybe that's because we're in the terminal. I'm going to guess that's the reason. A little bit faster. All right, we're getting there. Okay, 28.8 seconds. Is what it took to do the thinking. It's doing the same thing. It's giving me a couple options. Okay, there's option 2. Okay, it's running through that. We're at 53 seconds so far. We're now in option 3, and we should be coming up to the end, and there it is. All right, so if you can see that on the screen, the thinking took 28.88 seconds, and the actual writing is 35.1. So with just those 2 tests, yes, this is running faster than it did in Windows 11, but we used the GUI interface. That's definitely going to be slower. But maybe it's using the graphics card now, because it did say something about using the AMD graphics, but maybe that's the processors too. Either way, it doesn't matter. It is a little faster in Linux. All right, we're going to take it back to the studio for my final thoughts. All right, so we have the results. We know that Linux runs better than the Windows version, at least with the Ollama and the 2 billion parameter LLM model from Gemma 4. What are the takeaways? Old hardware might still be able to do those sort of things. Just doing some basic text documents, like a first draft of things, this might be the way to go. If you're interested. I know there are groups of people out there that just could care less about AI, and I get that. And that's not what this video is for. It was just to see, can we do it on old hardware? Yes, it is possible. It does work. Well, that's all that I have for today. If you like what you saw, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. And don't forget to click the subscribe button down below. In the description, I have access to, or a link to, my Amazon store that helps support the channel if you're interested in any of the products that I've reviewed in the past. And basically until then, you can watch another episode either here or here, and I'll see you again for another episode of Hey, What's Next?